Super Sexy Rejects. We are going to watch Andor today. Get ready to sync up with us on the day. Feels like a 80s sci-fi movie.
Yeah. It's like the beginning of Alien.
Yeah. Does have like a Ridley Scott flair to
I was
this.
gonna say it's got like a Blade Runner-y vibe.
Yeah, there's like a cyberpunk quality to this.
Seedy underbelly of the Star Wars universe. Someone's watching Tron Legacy.
I say go for it, Andor.
Nah, it's more his type.
Welcome.
Hello.
Hello tonight.
Just me.
Have you been with us before?
Otherwise, why would I be here?
Star Wars erotica.
Yeah, I never thought I'd see a brothel in this universe. Are you
I
a
am
cop?
Latino. You want to sleep with your sister? I'm really enjoying the tone of this.
Yeah, it's so dreary and like dready. It's a cool way to do that.
Ouch.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh my God.
Oh. Cast shot first.
I'm loving this.
I know, right? It's the most gripping few minutes. Oh my god. Best new Star Wars.
Oh, and it looks great, by the way.
Yes. So tense. Dank Ferrix.
Huh. I like how deliberate it is.
Yeah.
It's like it's got that slow burn aura about it.
But very assured. Woo. Yeah.
Praising the seriousness of it. Dog face.
Nice touch. And this music too, like everything so far.
I brought what you told me. Cassian.
I need to remember my whole life story before we begin.
Before I joined the rebellion. We're in Star Wars Mexico. Ooh. Is this the ship from Rogue One?
Oh,
Buddy.
the fact that this droid is not in Rogue One has me worried.
I know. Don't worry, we got at least 24 episodes.
tinge of that Sam Mendes espionage vibe. That's a lot to remember. Wreck one.
Tell your mother she can afford to put the heating on. It was freezing there last night.
Say hi to your mother for me. Oh.
My God.
Jesus. Oh.
This feels so mature.
I know.
It's so refreshing.
I know. One, like, each character so far is fascinating in their own little way. It was a great scene.
This theme is all about lying.
Yeah.
I really believe the history with it. I'm really sold on this show. I find Diego Luna so much more interesting here already than I
Yeah.
did in Rogue One.
I like him in Rogue One, but the tone really supports how his character emotes
Well, and also the
here.
pacing.
Yeah.
I don't speak Spanish. I do like how they've kept it in their native tongue
Yeah.
instead of doing that prey bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah. Cowards at the same general studio.
Because this is a real native language.
Well, the lack of subtitles, too. Let's just focus in on the mood.
Wait, go back. Go back. That.
What is that? I'm not quite sure, sir.
He's the Commissioner Gordon of the corporate office.
You're killing it, man.
Great job of manipulating your way out of this. Yeah, you're meeting with Andor.
What are you doing? Follow her.
This is not the start of a healthy relationship.
Yeah, gonna be checking her phone next.
Oh.
Oh, this is where the grips put all their stuff.
Oh.
You're gonna
He
be
was an honor student. What?
he was. He took the AP classes.
Gosh. Joe really gets you to root for him, man.
I know.
Except treats him like he's such a goddamn deadbeat. Oh, he's meeting up with Stellan Skarsgård, isn't he?
Yeah, probably. That would make sense.
Oh, is this the last time we saw her?
Whoa. Wow.
Well done, Tony Gilroy.
Yeah, I was wondering if he maybe wrote that.
Director,
at
whatever.
least.
But we know.
Toby Haynes, I know that
I wonder
name, though.
if Tony Gilroy wrote all of them.
Maybe.
I know he's very passionate about this one project. Shows.
Well, it definitely feels like his writing.
Oh, yeah, 1,000%. If this did not end like that. I would just be like, wasn't just a week to week.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not trying to sound like we're better than the average audience.
We
No,
are,
it's not an
though.
action-packed episode or some shit, or it has like the most exciting cliffhanger. But for my personal taste, I'm like, this is the kind of show I've been kind of craving.
This is
for
what
the
I've been
Star Wars
wanting
world.
all this time. Yeah. No, totally.
Because I can't lie to you guys. You know, like I mean, if you watch our reactions with any of these Star Wars shows, Boba Fett, like obviously the Mandalorian, mwah, love the hell out of the Mandalorian.
Yes.
But Boba Fett was really up and down experience, and
As was Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Obi-Wan, yeah, fell into the mid for me by the end. Had some like amazing moments, for sure, some amazing scenes, but the overall story that it told and how it was told was real mid for me.
Yeah, I'd agree.
I remember the pilot being like, "This is the pilot. It's the first episode. Give it the time for Boba Fett 2. This is the first one. Give it time." And then the end conclusion, and this had me gripped
From go.
from the go. And then before, you know, it was just a few days ago, I was talking with John, like, you know, I remember when I saw Rogue One, I really loved that film. And then rewatching it, I was like, oh man, you know, I just kind of, what was I saying? I was saying like, I kind of just feel like they keep regurgitating this same goddamn timeline, and it's on the same timeline. It's just a little before Rogue One,
But it's not
But it's not
bending over
about that.
backwards
Yeah.
to go, this is directly linked
Yeah.
to the thing that you love the most about Star Wars. It's just letting it be, even though it will connect. And I think Tony Gilroy said that by the end of season 2, it will feed into Rogue One. But yeah, like it feels like you're just here right now learning about this moment in time rather than trying to get to why this moment in time is going to be relevant to something
Yeah.
nostalgic in the future or the past.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like Rogue One did not feel repetitive to me by the time the first time I saw it, but because of everything that's been coming out, I was like, this kind of feels it's lost some of the effect.
It doesn't have
And
as
it-
much
and it-
charm as it did. I
and-
still
and-
like it to a degree more than a certain amount of
Yeah.
recent things
Still
in
feel-
the Star Wars.
feels a little
canon.
rushed and messy.
But yeah, you can tell the trouble that the production had.
Yeah, and I really didn't feel that the first time I watched it.
Yeah,
And then,
yeah.
but watching this was like the word that keeps coming to mind is this feels refreshing. Refreshing is the word because it doesn't feel like it's in a hurry.
No.
At all. It's a
No.
slow burn. Every time you meet a character, you feel the history of each one of these characters, and you could feel the weight of the empire, the backdrop of that, without them having to keep fucking talking about it. you
Without
know?
having to show like
Yeah.
stormtroopers everywhere occupying
Yeah.
things or whatever. Yeah, you feel in this corner of the galaxy, at least as we've known it for these 40 minutes. You can feel how kind of how the world has fallen a bit.
It feels it's Star Wars, so it's sci-fi, whatever. And the best person to liken this to is Ridley Scott or someone more relevant as today, Denis Villeneuve, as someone who really captures something that goes for a more grounded, real world approach to a crazy sci-fi story. Because this is it's fictional, it's Star Wars, it's unrealistic, but it feels freaking realistic.
Yeah.
And it's also through the way the characters interact and the way the characters are like, we don't want to talk for too long because there's 3 episodes. But for a starter, I really thought what I'm surprised by with this experience is I thought we would be ending this video with it's just the first episode, so we're just getting started. So we're just gonna get it going and
I
see
didn't
the next
expect to
two.
be so excited
Yeah.
about this installment on its own.
Yeah,
And so satisfied enough that I could, wait another week until the next one just to chew on this. Yeah.
because there's great visual language, like the way they're handling the flashbacks without. I mean, we're watching this early because they gave us the first 3 early because we've been asked to interview. I think it's the girl and the corporate officer.
Yeah.
We call Gordon, who fortunately took a really good
He will
job.
arc into the mustache. No,
it's always
he was great,
refreshing when you
too.
don't have to lie to people.
I know.
Because like the rule of thumb with doing interviews is like, okay, focus on what you did like and just don't mention what you don't like.
Yeah,
and here I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh, thank God. They're both.
This is gonna be this is gonna be easy.
This is smooth sailing. Yeah, right.
yeah.
So yeah, but with all the characters, like I'm intrigued by them without them having for them to exposition dump whatever their backstory is. I'm like, I'm just liking the immediacy of whatever the moment is that we're with them, because it's such a striking tone that immerses you into the dread, and the way they've gotten me to forget about where we're going to land with Cassie and Andor so early on. The way they managed to make me not think about that. Or be like, no, I ain't gonna be captain. No, you gonna be fighting rebellion. You gonna be with my Mothman. You gonna be good, man.
It sounds so simple, but I think that is one of the Achilles' heels of a lot of recent Star Wars attempts, is that they do spend a lot of time anywhere else but here and now, or they're trying to hearken to things. Whereas this really does a great job of drawing you into these characters, most of whom we're all meeting for the first time, and building off of what worked about Cassian Andor in Rogue One, and then developing that, but in these little ways. I feel like every scene gives you a set of circumstances, and then it lets the characters reveal themselves through that. It's like, here's what they're up against.
That's good writing, man.
Yeah, totally. And
This is like good filmmaking.
yeah, because it seems like there are multiple things on Tony Gilroy at the moment's mind, the writer's mind, because even in that scene where he and Bix are talking for, our first time in the present, at least, like, you get multiple things out of that scene, both from the acting but also from the dialogue, because he's trying to arrange this deal or whatever, but then you learn about what her circumstances are in this operation. You also learn about her personal life with that guy who's like following her around, just like all these little bits and details, and then the actors take it that much further, and especially Gordon for right now, like all the different like tics and the ways in which he's so wound up. It's like they allow. I commented on the music at one point, and there's a lot of great music across these series, but one thing I noticed in this episode is they often would let the music hang back during a lot of those scenes, just to let the circumstances and the mannerisms really take center stage, and to let you really relish in the tics and emotions and the things that are not said, because so many, it's like you said, like there's a big theme about lies and distortion of the truth, and you look at both the Empire and a rebellion of any sort, and there's all these clashing circumstances and perspectives within all that, and I feel like thus far they've done nicely to draw this portrait of a world that is like gray and seedy. And I know everybody kind of goes back to that moment in Rogue One where he's
like the lower class.
yeah, like it's really on the margins of society where
like
life
the poverty side
is hard. And I love that detail about like he's in a brothel, and they were not even supposed to have those, and it was an expensive brothel. They weren't even supposed to be able to afford those. Like
corporate greed. Like I like that we're dealing with a Morlana 1. Like we're dealing with just corporate officers.
Yeah.
It's not exactly.
It's right in the middle.
It's in the middle. It's not, like we're here with the Empire and the Imperials and they're building a Death Star or some shit. Like it feels like different than Rogue One, and it feels like it fits within the same world. Like you always kind of hope that they do their own thing a lot of the time, and they really rarely feel like they actually are able to. And with such a mature, like the first 10 minutes is some of the most mature I feel. Maybe not 10, but like. We were super technical about it.
Up
like
through at least,
I'll tell you exactly how. Like,
through that chat
first,
that he
no,
has.
it was like first 10 minutes. Yeah, like the first 10 minutes, it feels so adult. Like it feels adult. Like you're at a galactic brothel, and the killing someone holds weight. It feels almost Western like.
Yeah,
like kind of like what Unforgiven did, where. When he does kill that person, you could tell he's disturbed by what he did, despite the fact, because you think that it's just gonna be one of those things like I got 300 crits, come up, bam, messes them up or kills them, and he just walks away.
And he's cool.
But no, you feel the pain of taking a life, and even the corporate officer and the way he reacts to it. Like there is pain to the characters, and I think that is such a. I like having that haunting effect, and it feels like it's just doing its own thing and not being so concerned. And it gets, and thinking about him working with the rebellion when he's purposeless right now.
Yeah,
he's just looking out for himself. He's a scoundrel. He's got like very minimal friends. Everyone writes him off as that guy you loan money to and he ain't gonna pay you back, you know?
Yeah.
And he
Shifty scavenger.
and he plays it with such realism. Like it feels like such a real person, and every interaction he
feels like
has
a
feels so real.
It feels like a survival skill, even in the moments where like when he runs into the two guys in the street who are trying to muscle him for their deposit or whatever. Like it's that thing of even in that, like that moment is more charming than the altercation in the alleyway, but even still you can feel the necessity in both moments of like these are two different versions of how I need to survive.
Yeah.
And that moment in the alley is awesome because I think it harkens to that moment in Rogue One where he caps the informant, which I think a lot of people pointed to as like, oh damn, that's kind of a stark moment. And here I thought they extract
his opening scene.
yeah. And it reminded me kind of that, but in an even more, just unfurled kind of way where, like that whole moment you spend so much time within the tension and watching his face. Like that was a moment, like all these Star Wars shows look really good and they often have like a sequence or two with really astounding framing and visuals. But that was one thing where I was like, it's the simplest choice just to stay steady on him as the two voices get closer, and then as the altercation reaches a head, you start to cut and you feel, the real kind of pain and desperation when that guy's bargaining with him and he's like, he's coming up with a cover story in that moment. And like it's fascinating, and the dreariness doesn't, at least yet, outstay its welcome. Like it's dreary in the right way.
It feels like stylistic and substantial at the same time, style and substance.
Yeah.
And even that little bit of violence at the beginning, I love the way it was handled because it felt like kind of real. Even when he got hit,
It felt
when he turns his head and he hits him, like just the way how it even though it had like the sound effect, the reaction to it and the way it was done wasn't like and then he like falls over or something. It was just so like kind of subtle, and it felt like it. Like
it sells that,
and then the way they're brawling.
it sells that this wasn't supposed to end this way, kind of messiness.
Yeah, it was a really gripping opening, and then now establishing who he is in this world, and it gets me excited at the thought of him finding a real purpose in life, because you could tell how they're cutting back between the present day for the show, and then the past, which I really appreciate how they're not, at least on our screeners, there's no subtitles.
Yeah,
there's no subtitles. And I like that because you are just picking up on body language and facial expression, and you're understanding the communication via that.
Yeah.
And you could tell there's some type of tragic thing that's about to unfurl in this flashback here. So he's got some real painful, and it's, obviously talked about in Rogue One as well, but going to have some painful backstory, and you could see that weight that he carries, and yet he hasn't done anything with that pain that is truly moving forward and doing some good. And I really get the impression, because even in Rogue One, there is that little tidbit when he does join up with Jyn Erso at the end, being like he's discovered, like there's some not so great things about the rebellion, and he wants to fight for something that's truly noble. And I think we're going to explore even the gray side of the rebellion that can be a little dirty.
Well, yeah, because I think in the themes, in that watching so many stories and circumstances be sculpted into stories in this episode, it made me think of, you think of, the Empire and the propaganda of that, and the brainwashing that comes along with that. But, in a way, a rebellion is just a consortium of people just the same, and there can be desperate measures that cross the line into, that philosophical debate of when are you sinking to your enemy's level or not. And as much as, like the rebellion generally in the Star Wars universe is the right side of things, like, it can't be perfect ideologically. And I think if they choose to explore the complication of that, because statecraft and all these things are complicated and they're not black and white. And I think that's part of what feels so mature about this, is because, in a lot of Star Wars media, there can be kind of a boiling down of like, no, it's the light and the dark, and it's pretty easy to tell which is which. And I think it's interesting of a show to perhaps acknowledge, here's what is maybe not so on the up and up about the rebellion and how the rebellion can strive to be, even more noble or whatever it is. It makes you think.
I can't wait to. I hope the next 2 episodes are good, but I was like, man, I want to just go to Twitter right now and be like, guys, the first episode of Andor is awesome.
It's terrific. Get ready.
Yeah, I'm surprised by how much I enjoyed this. I was like, because I love the trailers. I have loved the trailers, but when I first heard about this show being announced, I was like, I really want to see an Andor show.
I really want to watch this dreary guy.
And then I watched Rogue One again, and when I rewatched Rogue One, I was like, not one part of this movie makes me go, I want to see the backstory explored over several seasons of this guy. And then
It's kind of cool.
in like 10 to 15 minutes, I was like, I have never been so relieved to watch a Star Wars show before. This is so good.
Everything is good.
It is so good, and to have something like Mandalorian, which feels so like this is pure Star Wars, and then to have Andor, which has more of a scuzzy, and I like how it's exploring so much of these gray elements, and it has such a gray cinematography to it. I like that you have on the flip side this much more grounded fucking approach, and that feels dirtier, and but doesn't feel like forced grit or Disney grit. You know what I mean?
No, it feels natural. It was striking, because it felt like while it doesn't cross the line too hard into
HBO or something.
into anything past TV 14 territory, it has a sensibility that suggests that maybe the
Undertone.
folks at Disney got out of the way a little bit and it said make something that is a bit more mature, not necessarily adult, but more mature.
It's got
and more sophisticated.
It's got that war weary undertone.
It's like
to
war noir.
Yeah.
There's a sprinkling of Sin City in there. Like it's ever so slight, but especially the way you meet him in the beginning, just like in that coat
and
in
that,
the rain.
and that girl too.
The girl at the bar. It's the classic setup
Yeah.
of like, I'm looking for a girl. Have you seen her? I got this one lead,
But even the girl at the even the actress whose name we should commit to memory.
Yes,
Bix. That even meeting her like that. She's not femme fatale.
But kind of,
yeah.
Not necessarily the direct opposition to the protagonist, but she's obviously established as somebody who can take care of herself and is cunning.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited to watch the next episode.
Can't wait.
That was refreshing.
I know. I'm so happy.
So refreshing. Jesus Christ. I was not expecting to be walking away going refreshing.
Yeah.
I hope people give this a chance because I know that the hype for it hasn't been as massive as they've hoped, but I hope the word of mouth, I expect good word of mouth on this.
Oh, yeah. Under promise, over deliver.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for being here. And let's get into a Patron of the Day shout. Adelia Chamberlain. Adelia, we have looked up your name on Urban Dictionary.
Yeah.
Here it is. I think Adelia's unique name and people who have that name might be brave.
Brave Adelia.
A little embarrassing in some... No, let's do a different one. This is fucking awful. Okay. All right. Adelia Chamberlain. Adelia.
Adelia.
We have looked up what your name means on Urban Dictionary. Here we go. Adelia is a cute, kind, nice-looking girl. That she is.
Truth.
Mother F words.
Facts.
She hides her feelings a lot. She can, but she also can write them out. It may seem cold, but once you know her, you can discover how nice and kind she is.
Yeah, she smacked me the first time we met, but it was worth it. All right.
Underneath that smack was preciousness.
There was tender, loving care in every moment of that smack.
Even though she has been through a lot, she is still trying her best to recover and make her surroundings happy and smiling. Did you write this yourself, Adelia?
Is this your autobiography?
We did the Urban Dictionary for for jokes. I'm like,
Usually these are
this is-
absurd.
I'm like, this is not far off.
This is like when you read your horoscope and you're like, oh, actually, yeah, kind of. Who'd have thunk?
This is really accurate.
Well, thank you for updating Urban Dictionary. I assume your username is Oth26.
Yeah, great job, Adelia. You have officially defined what the name Adelia means for everyone across the world wide web.
Stay cute, kind, and nice.
Love you, dear.